Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to do weapons and armor real quick. So let's just go ahead and get started. If we want to make a weapon, it's going to be a type of item. So we need to get the item module, and then we're also going to need the random module. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll make the class weapon inherits from item and init self name value damage and quantity is default one. Now you could do anything there if you want to. I just made the executive decision to include quantity. If you wanted, you could just remove that, and just set it explicitly, weapon.quantity equals 5 or whatever. But I like to have the option, so that is up to you. So we're going to say item.init, and this will set up everything else for us. But we're going to ignore damage because we're going to do something with it. We're going to do min damage and max damage. So damage is going to be a tuple. So for example, 3 to 5. So this is number 0 right there, and that's 1. So that's what we're saying here. Damage, that's this. And they're saying, okay, grab the first one. So that's that one, and then just grab the second one. So that's what's going on there. I believe you could also do self.min damage. Like you could do some kind of tuple unpacking type thing, max damage equals damage or whatever. But I'm not sure if that works. You can figure that out for yourself. Okay, so you may be wondering, how we're going to get the damage if, there's no damage value necessarily. So instead, we're going to have a function called damage, and it's going to return a random integer from the minimum damage to the maximum damage. And that's it. And I'm also going to throw in a kind of extra one here. Enchanted weapon. So I'll call that weapon enchanted, and I'll inherit from weapon. And I doubt I'm going to actually do anything with this. So this is completely optional as well, right here. And we need to add effects. But this is just showing you if you want to, do your own. This is how you do it here. So name, value, quantity, damage, and then you just say self effects equals effects. So let's go ahead and let's test the weapon out. So we're going to have some weapons in the list, and let's make a longsword. Okay, so a longsword, say it's worth 25, and it's going to do a minimum of 7 damage up to 12 damage. And again, like I said, the quantity, if you want to do that, you put it in there. Another thing is if you want to explicitly state it. So for example, say I wanted to, put it all the way over here. You can do that. It's, you understand what it does. So none of the arguments actually have to be in order as long as you name them, So this would be name, and you can do value and damage, and that'll work just the same. There's pretty much no difference. But that's just going to be one, and just another one for an example. 514. And we'll say for item and items, print item dot damage. So this will be dynamic, so it'll give us something different every time. Invalid syntax. Oh, there, missing a comma. Attempted relative import and non-package. Okay, let's see, what is it complaining about? So we're here. Looks like it's probably some kind of issue where we're trying to run this where weapon is not actually a package. It's kind of confusing, but believe me, this does actually work. So that's how to do a weapon. Now if you want to do an armor piece, that's pretty similar. So again, we're just going to need anything from item, and we'll just say class armor. Here it's from item, and what is it? Self name value. Okay, we'll call this defense and quantity. Okay. Item.init. Always have to look back at previous code. Quantity and self.defense equals defense. So there you go. That's basic. That should work too. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, yeah. Well, let's do a little bit more. So let's see how this runs right now. Okay. Go ahead and run that. And we'll say Bob. Yeah. Help. Okay. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and make a new folder. Let's call this locations, possibly. Locations. And this is going to be a module. And we're going to put a new file, and we're going to call this a place. So a place is going to inherit from object. And so this is going to be a model for just a place, not necessarily a room or anything, but just a basic place. It's going to have a name and a description. That's it. And I'm also going to add in here, well, yeah, we can add that later. So self.name equals name, self.description equals description, and we're going to have another function. Need to add a little bit more for that. So we're going to store all the connections to it. West. So these will be replaced by other instances of this. And to change those, we can have a function called connect, or connections, or whatever you want to call it. And so by default, everything will kind of just be set to none. And I'm actually going to copy some code I've written before. So basically what we're saying here is self.north is equal to whatever north is up here, and if it's none, nothing will happen. It'll be still none. But if north, so this is saying if north is not none, basically, just a little bit shorter, then the top up here, so let's say this is the current building, we're setting north. So we're setting north, we're saying north is equal to whatever instance up here, So north.south is equal to this room. So this room's south property is this building. That's all that's saying. So it just makes it a little bit easier. Things aren't as explicit. And let's try this out. So we'll have a place. Oops. We'll call it field. Description. You are in a grassy field. House equals place. You are in a house. And you can just say, you know, print field dot description. You know, stores all that. We can say field dot connect east equals house. So we're saying, you know, what's to the east of here is whatever you call this. And so we'll say field.east, and it's a place object, and then we can find out, you know, what's that name? House. So you can say to the east of the field there is, to the east of the field there's house. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.